Disneyland on any given day. For a person of my sensitivities, I'm a bit of a lightweight. That might not sound like much to those of you who are seasoned connoisseurs, but I found that the magic of the happiest place on earth was just slightly more glowy wowy on 3 doses of 2.5 milligram edibles, mints, throughout the course of the day while visiting Disneyland. And I only had 3 occasions throughout the course of each day during my trip that were horrifying, and it was probably just about an hour after each dose. And they always came at very inopportune times. Anybody been on Pirates of the Caribbean? You know that like sea battle sequence where got the cannons going off and the pirates are and that shit was horrifying because I was coming on to my mid-morning dose. And I realized at one point is we've gone past the sea battle, we've gone through all the cutesy wootsy segments with you see Captain Jack Sparrow, he's got some cameos now, and if you're real lucky you get to see Johnny Depp in person apparently on the ride, he'll make appearances. But at one point towards the end of the ride, you know the famous scene, they replicated it in the film, The Curse of the Black Pearl, with all the folks, the bad guys in the jail cell, and they're all trying to get the dog to grab the keys and bring the keys over so they can get out of the cell. And it's funny and it's all well and good and it's comical and it's Disney, but it's fucking dark because just like 10 feet further down the track, you look up and you realize that like the whole city is like on flames. Everything's on fire and the beams are burning and crumbling, and all of a sudden it's not so cute. They're not just trying to get out of jail, but if they don't get out of jail, if this fucking dog doesn't help them, they're all gonna burn to death. Happiest place on earth. So
yes.
with a head full of THC, there were moments like that were a little bit uncomfortable, but for the most part it was a very pleasant experience. I do have a shy bladder. Shy bladder syndrome, anybody got that? Or familiar with it? Is anybody familiar with shy bladder syndrome? So I go into a bathroom and 9 times out of 10, like unless I have to pee really, really fucking bad, I'm standing there at the urinal just like eyes closed, just pushing as hard as I can without shitting myself, of course, which is successful most of the time. You're alone. There's nobody else in here. You're alone. Just fucking pee. Just do it. And oftentimes I can't. I just stand there with my dick in my hands, waiting for pee to come out. It never does. And I give it a little shake, pretending like I've done the duty, zip up, go and wash my hands, or sometimes I can escape into a stall. And I have to gauge the situation. Depending upon what my level of inebriation is, more often than not, that's kind of my barometer. If I'm at the perfect level of being fucked up with usually just booze and pot, it's not a problem for me at all. Disneyland is a pretty dry place. And remember, I'm a lightweight and I've got the shy bladder, so and of course when you're in Anaheim, any time of the year, you gotta remember to stay hydrated, otherwise you got problems. So I have to pee constantly. Being at Disneyland, high and having to pee all the time and having a shy bladder was unexpectedly not a problem for me at all. Because everybody at Disneyland is either a tiny little kid or the parent of a tiny little kid. They're not going to notice that I'm standing at the stall for 10 minutes trying to piss, or that I stand at the stall for 10 minutes and then like excuse myself and go to from the urinal into the stall. Nobody's taking note of any of that. So it was kind of a good situation for me. The kids at Disneyland are, as they are anywhere else, the best and the worst part of being alive. Children are so sweet and so funny and weird and just like in touch with the inexplicable, the unnameable, the divine. They're just like tapped right into it, but they're also the most fucking horrible little shithead assholes that exist. Children, because they have no filter. So kids in line for one ride, this kid, he looks up at me and goes, you look like SpongeBob. I'm only assuming it's because of the whole teeth situation, and yes, these are my real teeth, and no, you can't touch them. Also, the hair is my own, and no, you can't touch that. He was cute though. He was really cute, and sweet. And he had two brothers, and the three of these little brothers were just constantly interacting with Tina and myself while we were waiting in line for this storybook boat ride. High as fucking kites, freshly watered, and they were great. They were a joy to be around. We had a wonderful time talking to them. Even the kid who called me SpongeBob was like, "Cool, buddy." Thank you, I guess. But the ones who were real assholes, I was so happy at any point during the day when I got an opportunity to be around a little asshole kid in line because they're just the perfect height. So you want to save money at Disneyland because the food is really expensive. So we subsisted primarily off of like Walgreens sandwiches and beef jerky and stuff that didn't really, it wasn't really gastronomically sound and created some issues. So I'm a 37-year-old man. You know, I fart as much as any 37-year-old man, and I farted in a lot of little asshole kids' faces. As one should. It isn't. We drove. We didn't fly.
See me?
I can. No, that's okay. Can you see me though?
Oh yeah, I remember you now.
I remember you too.
Good morning.
Good morning, good afternoon, and
Let's leave Reno as
love SpongeBob.
I love Reno.
I do too.
I remember you now.
If you're in the right part of Reno, you can have a real good time, and if you're in the wrong part of Reno, even if there's no cameras involved, people think that you're shooting a porno. They just ask you randomly if you're shooting a porno when you're walking down the street in Reno. I've experienced it, I've lived it, I've loved it, I know it. So we drove, we didn't fly, and we encountered, as people do on I-5 going down to the LA area, a lot of really stupid people on the road doing really stupid things. You know, weaving in and out of traffic, tailgating, just being really dumb. We popped a tire, and it was horrifying. Right there on the side of I-5, like nightmare in real life, like coming to fruition. Like less than 2 feet from cars just zipping right by, like not even bothering to change lanes. It was pretty scary. But I imagine these people who behave like this on highways, doing all of these dangerous, stupid things. I have a difficult time imagining them doing anything but that, like having any other existence but driving recklessly and being assholes on highways. They're like mosquitoes. They exist for one reason alone, and that's to suck your blood and annoy you and possibly give you a life-threatening condition, like malaria or running off the road, whatever. Just today, actually, in Nevada City, I encountered this guy. I was pulling off out of a parking spot on Commercial Street, and there was this Subaru that passed me before I pulled out, and saw that I was pulling out after he had passed, and stops in the middle of the road, puts the car in reverse, like he's gonna back up and take the spot that I just pulled out of. And I'm like, do you really want me to back down a one-way street so you can take the spot that I just pulled out of? That just doesn't make any sense at all. That sounded way better in my head than Yeah, that's just not how the world works. Anyway, let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. Unless I'm walking by Elixir or the Briar Patch, because fuck those people. Thank you.